Hi guys, my name is Sai Krishna. Today I'm going to do a consumer sentimental analysis for a vitality magnet bracelets by using Power BI visualizations and etc. So to wrap it up, so let me open the so so today we have a data set of vitality magnetic bracelets and and we are going to do a sentiment analysis using Power BI because it is a fantastic way to unlock the emotions behind the text, whether you are analyzing the customer reviews or social media content. This kind of analysis provides the key insights that can guide marketing strategies, improve consume customer relations. If you have any questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. I would like to hear and take on this. So let me explain a data set. This vitality magnetic bracelet sets makes magnetic bracelets that help with balance, balance and pain. They have recently conducted a research comparing three different price options to determine uh, the best best price to sell for a bracelet. They sold bracelet for 6 months. They sold six months through six segments of like comparable websites, each representing different market segment in the first six market segment for the six websites. They sold like they sold the bracelet for 11.25 in the second. So for 11.25 in a second segment, second set of website, the price was 12, and the third set, the price was 10, as the following, like you can see. Second segment, the price was in a segment two, the price was 12, in a segment one, the price was 11.25. The female and the male differs. So the following link contains a sample of, so I'm going, you can see this. Uh, so now we are going to conduct a sentiment analysis in Power BI and present the results in a visualization that give both an aggregate score plus some detailed insights. So the introduction is another sentiment analysis report where I analyzed the customer reviews based on demographics and regional sentiment, regional demographics like regional factors, sentimental factors helps us understand the emotions conveyed. So the overview of the data set is use it here to consist of reviews. These are the reviews and the star ratings and demographic information of the age and the category and the segments and gender, age groups and regions. Each review is associated with a price paid and recommendation from the customer, which ranges from yes, no, maybe. Additionally, we have a sentimental scores calculated like here. Scores calculated. We have sentiments for each review, which allows to quantify quantify how positive or negative a review is or a neutral. The key elements of the data and the key element of the analyzing this data set is whenever like this data set came, we begin looking by we begin by looking at the demographic breakdown. At the demographic data includes reviews from males, females, and other gender groups spanning various age groups such as 21 to 35, 35 to 40, and 60. Or understanding these groups help us to see how customer sentiment varies across different demographic segments, and the star ratings and the sentiment correlations and sentiment score relations as expected. Higher starting ratings are like 4 or 5 tend to have higher sentiment scores. Higher sentiment scores indicate positive emotions. Or you can see, like we need to do that, like by making this frequency in the Power BI, we need to make a positive, neutral, or a negative by following this. I'll show you in the Power query how to do. So sentiment by we also look at the sentiment by region or a place. Like 19 have average higher average sentiment score, while region 14 shows 2 stars, neutral slightly or a neutral say segment, and sentiment for price correlation here includes the price of each customer paid for the product. We analyze the paid product and we analyze how sentiment changes with price. Interestingly, reviews that mention a price $10 tend to have more positive sentiment sessions that consumer. So you can see here the more positive 10, it's a steal. It means the customer feeling like that's a steal deal for a the Vitality magnetic bracelet, and they're getting good value at that price point. Some customers are feeling like that. So we need to review the text sentiment. Like for each review, we also calculated a sentiment scores. This is for each review, there is a sentiment score. Like first one is 0.1866, shows a neutral to slightly a negative sentiment, while a review with a score close to 0.984 indicates a high positive sentiment. This breakdown gives us a clear understanding of how a customer feels beyond in the star rating, because by calculating sentiment we can make positives and negatives and a neutral depending on the score of sentiment. Like finally, we link the sentiment to customer reviews where customers say yes to the product typically have higher sentimental scores, and no or maybe lean towards a negative or a neutral sentiment. This helps us to predict the that we'll do in a Power BI. I'll show them. So to summarize the sentiment analysis, valuable insights on how different demographic groups, region, and price points influence the customer sentiment. By indicating this pattern, business can make score informed decisions, improving customer satisfaction and targeting areas where improvements are needed. And let's dive into Power BI. So today we are diving into most powerful analytical tool, sentiment analysis using Power BI. So this is until it open, I'll tell you. This is important does not just for research, but also for practical applications like media sentiment and financial analysis, or even tracking customer opinions. Like stick around as we take a closer look for the data set, explain the sentiment analysis process, and show how this can be a game changer for business. Let it open and let's get started. So, the first thing you need to do is always you can import the Excel workbook through in Power BI. You can import Excel workbook through two different ways. So, so in this sentimental analysis, I'll show you like first thing you can import data in two ways. One is get data by Excel Power BI, Excel workbook, or directly from the Excel workbook, where you can select your data set and open. And I use this Excel file to import like which I have imported here. And once your data is loaded into Power BI, ensure the data types are correctly. Actually, I did everything, so I'm going ensure that data types are correctly assigned to each column. For instance, ensure that headline column is and text sentimental labels category data text or anything on your data numbers based on your data set. You can use Power Query to clean your data by removing unnecessary columns or rows, headline, missing data, or renaming columns for clarity. So you can load the data or you can transform the data, because I did everything, so that I'm transforming the data. After transforming, you can see like this. Here we have a same Excel sheet with the same data, and in this Excel we have up to score sentiment, where we have score sentiment to analyze the positive, neutral, and negative reviews. So I made a formula for this. So by taking all the values, so I took a value of 0.6 to 0.8 as a positive sentiment and positive positive mark, and from 0.4 to 0.506 I took as a neutral thing, and after that 0 and 0.2 ratings are where I took a, so I think it's all this. Select all. Here you can see everything, like each one has a, these are positives. Okay, let me filter this. So, you can see from 0.4 and 0.5 they are considered as a neutral, and above 0.5 like 0.6 considered as a positive, and below 0.3 is considered as, sorry, I have stammering. Let me explain this. So I made this formula. You can have score sentiment by taking this score. So after that, I add a column called extracted key phrases by using a text analysis, where I can see basic, the, the basic opinion key keywords, where I can see what's going on. Then first I insert a text box where to keep a title as a sentiment analysis. You can go to text box. You can go this, you can add this and text box like this, and you can write customer sentiment analysis or talent manager, because we are doing based on reviews. And after that, I add you can add anything like a bar chart, pie chart, line chart, or anything. It's up to your visualization and up to your requirements of a client or someone. So I added a cluster bar chart where I include on X on the y-axis, I take a count of gender, and the y-axis I took a gender, and x-axis I took a count of region, like which of the, and in the legend I took a like category like reviews exactly. Actually, segment category where male, female, or other. By adding this, I get a, there are number of gender, male, new number of count of region, everything. And for this, I downloaded, I added a visualization. Like you can add a visualization from here, like get more visuals. You can search here, and you can search like word. You get a word cloud which shows you the exact the extra key phrases in this word. So I added like a, data fields. I added extra key phrases so that it will show, like I'll show you male change, it doesn't, it changes benefits yoga what they like. And if you take a female, it changes. And so always have add a slicer to filter the data and what you want to look. And I did this, and after that I added a text analysis here, slicer thing. And this is a scatter chart I used to plot order points at what range some of the score sentiment, at what point like the score sentiment is going in it for a star rating. And everything, I there are four charts. For every four charts I used a slicer. There's a slicer here, you can use a slicer. For this slicer, I used a field called gender. For this, I added a field called recommendation, like maybe yes or no. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. In this, I added a sentimental category, and this one is a star rating. So this is this is, this is a project which I did. So that's it. That's it, guys. You can add as many visuals as possible. Like it depends on what requirement you have, like for the data. Depends on how good you can visualization. This is my level. I did my best, and hope you find out some other like the some other visuals to get more to represent your data in a recent way. And that's it, guys. So in this data set, you can see the age group. So this and always write a summary like of write up or a report to give a brief analyze for the person you are representing the data, like durability, and so you can see what are the exact key phases, what are they mentioned, uh, and the recommendations, like what you feel after looking at the data and filtering, like what are the opinions. Give some recommendations here I gave to address consumer complaints regarding vitality, especially with regard to pain release, vital to investigate improving the products, design materials in order to increase functional benefits and more like that. Keep to improve, try to improve visualization more. The more visual you do, the more clarity we get. So you can check, like you can add female, how many serious, how many are negative with this is on why they are negative, because how was this thing, and you can check the star ratings also. What is the frequency of star rating here? So here is of 0.65, because and 0.65 is called it's called a neutral reaction. Sorry, uh, positive review. So make it positive and use maybe. You can choose other category also where it has a 59.12 is fine. So some of sentiment. So that's a positive review. Yes, guys. So to wrap it up, this is how you do the customer visualization by using Power BI tools, and you can use many, like a funnel chart, like how how the stars is coming down, like how the reviews were. That's it, guys. Thank you. This is my first video. Hope you all like. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor, for giving us a chance to make this project.